All right, ready, set.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Hacks and Hobbies. And today we have a special guest who has been helping speakers, authors, coaches, consultants, and business owners gain massive visibility, increase their credibility for over 3 decades. Joining us today is Mitch, a TV host on NBC Channel 3 in Las Vegas, a celebrated professional speaker, and an expert at landing TV and radio interviews. Mitch, thank you so much for coming out to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I feel very privileged to be here in such a fancy studio such as yours.
No, but privilege is all mine. You've done some amazing things. You've spoken on stages in 63 countries, produced over 2,000 live events. You know, I'm barely at 500 here, and in over 19 countries. Mitch, it's an honor to have you on the show. Before we dive into the juicy insights about growing revenue and gaining visibility, could you share with us how your journey started and what inspired you to build a career around media appearances and event production?
I got into the speaking business by accident. It was not by design. I didn't aspire to become a speaker. I didn't aspire to be anything other than a business person at some point. Speaking came because of let's say, a tragedy in my life where I was an only child. Both parents died when I was 22 and had developed into a little bit of a drinking problem, which I later overcame, sought help for that issue, and started sharing about my recovery with others. And then that became something that I did on a regular basis, sharing, talking, helping others, which is my way of giving back. And then I got invited by somebody who met me and said, I like your message. What do you do for work? I explained to him I owned an ad agency in LA at that time, small boutique agency, focusing on direct mail. And he said, I would love it if you came and spoke to my group of mortgage brokers in Seattle. I was living in LA at the time.
Yeah.
And maybe help them, and I'll pay you. I said, pay me to speak? He said, yeah, $500. Does that sound good? I said, it sounds great. It's $500 more than I had today.
Yeah.
So that was great. He gave me a business class ticket, flew me to Seattle. I spoke for 40 minutes, wrote $65,000 in business on, within that period of time. And I'd never been so successful. And what I learned, a valuable lesson, it's called one-to-many selling. Instead of one-to-one, I had many potential clients who all became customers out of this group of people. And the doors opened wide from that point further. So I became a professional speaker. A professional speaker is one who gets paid for it, which I did in an instant, and was able to sell from the stage at the same time. So I said, okay, this is a fantastic door that has been opened. Then later, I became more and more known as a speaker at that point, because then it leveraged into something else. There was somebody in the audience. And fortunately, for 30 plus years, I've never had to market myself as a speaker. I've just shown up, done my job, said what I'm going to do, delivered. And invariably, I got invited on other platforms because of that. It was all word of mouth for my entire career.
That's so amazing. Now, you mentioned something around you've been working in an ad agency, meaning you're helping other people's messaging.
Advertising.
You're advertising, right? So you're advertising, you're defining the messaging that's helping those people bring in clients through a one-to-many platform already. Now, as you're coming and speaking on stages, you already know the formula that works for people.
One-to-many.
Right? So you essentially applied that same formula to your speaking engagement.
Yes. And then, the pandemic, of course, changed us even a little more, because then I started on virtual events, because we didn't have live events that were available. I don't claim to be as knowledgeable about virtual events as I do live in person.
Sure.
When I say live events, I mean in person. That was the old way of describing it. In-person events, which I have been involved with all over the world. Virtual events, you can be sitting in front of your computer. We're having a virtual event today.
Exactly,
Essentially. Yeah, this counts, I guess. but it is one to many because more than you and I are going to listen to this.
100%. 100%. Now, Mitch, you've been helping people land TV and radio interviews for years, and that's what's beautiful because that's something that I'm looking to land, but I know that there's a long journey towards it, and I'm glad that we get to talk about it. Now, talk to me about why are these appearances still crucial in 2024, even with the rise of social media, other online platforms, because they do offer a one-to-many kind of access as well.
Well, let me share the value of television. And it's also a function of your age cohort.
Hmm.
And my age group of baby boomers appreciates the value of TV more than somebody that's under 30 years old may not understand or recognize its value.
Hmm.
Let's say your group would, and then an older group of my age generation understands its value. I'm in Las Vegas. For clients, I'm able to get them on 4 network television stations. These are big brand ABC, NBC, CBS, the CW, and potentially Fox, all here in Vegas.
Hmm.
And I do that in 2 days, get them interviewed on live television. Some cases are recorded, but most of the time it's live broadcasting, live airings. That's the ultimate platform for
Yeah.
celebritizing and credentializing yourself. Podcasts are great, and I agree with it. And I also I was a radio show host at one time. Radio
Yeah.
shows are great. TV's the ultimate. I don't care what age you are,
Yeah.
because you're interviewed by broadcast journalists. These are people that went to school for this, 4-year, most of the time, master's degree level people who've studied and have crafted their careers in advance of even applying. And they then have to go through the ranks to learn how to correctly interview people,
Hmm.
engage them, and get the best message out of them in 2.5 to 4 minutes. That's the range of an interview on live television. Completely different platform from
Yeah.
podcasting. Obviously, I'm an advocate for podcasting because I'm allowing myself to be interviewed here today. But as
Hmm.
a show host myself and former pitchman on Home Shopping Network, there's nothing like television. And if you have a YouTube channel, great, and you've got a plaque on the wall, greater, doesn't qualify you to be a great host. You might have done great SEO in order to earn that placard.
Yeah.
And I've been interviewed by some great people in podcasts that are exceptional hosts. I've done YouTube live interviews. Some of
Hmm.
those people are solid as well. And they may have a plaque, but that's a different type of credential, different platform than being on network television with hundreds of millions of dollars in branding behind it in order to bring somebody up there. So I'm a bit biased because I grew up in the TV generation. I'm sure if I were 25 years old, I might have a different opinion. Oh, that's what my grandpa watched. Yeah. And who has the money in society, grandpa or you? Oh, my grandpa's rich. Yeah. And he
Yeah.
watches TV, and he'll
Uh-huh.
look at that with a respectful eye. He may not even give you any credentials because you have a YouTube channel.
That's really powerful of in how you mentioned the millions of dollar of branding and ad dollars behind them. Like that's their business and bread and butter. So they're going
100%.
to put they're going to put a ton of effort, ton of marketing behind it. I recently finished watching the show, The Morning Show. It's on Apple TV Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all around a TV show. It's all around the daily news and what messaging they're putting out. Hey, we want to make sure that we get the story first. They have journalists, running around finding the top stories, and you're absolutely right. As somebody who uh, has gone through and seen so many changes in media, television has been something that's still number one
By
source
far.
for by far, right, the number one source for news that people want to watch and listen to and pay attention to, and it's going to continue to be that way because those companies are continuing to pour money into those networks and the reach that they have.
Well, and also here in Vegas and other markets, has it changed? Sure. And guess what? Where's the money poured? This is legal. This is lawyer central. It's a
Mm,
24/7 city. There's a lot of drinking, car crashes, DUIs, all of the like. And because of that, it's the highest insurance rates. And there are billboards for lawyers all over the city.
yeah.
Makes sense. Where do they advertise? Billboards, old advertising. It's not the internet. Billboards and TV.
Yeah.
Billboards and TV. Many of them have shows. I've had them on my shows. They love TV because it's credibility. It's
Mm-hmm.
credibility.
Yeah.
If they're on a TV show, it's a lot different than being on Joe Blow's podcast or a YouTube channel. Is
Yeah.
it also a good platform? It can be, but this is local, specific, with the highest credibility ranking of media, which is television, network television.
I love that. Now, a lot of people are still, a lot of the younger generation are still skeptical about this, right? But sure, let's go a little bit deeper. Like, how do these media appearances directly contribute to a personal ability to charge premium prices for their services or products? Like,
Oh, it's a formula. Yeah,
okay.
it's okay. I mean, I get asked this a lot for people who are
Mm-hmm.
non-believers or don't understand it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the diamond dealers in Antwerp for purposes of a metaphor. The diamond dealers in Antwerp, Belgium, the center of the world for diamonds. They have people that come and buy these diamonds, and they're brokers. They have their duffel bag of diamonds. They come back to the U.S., New York City, which is where they dispense more. That's the Diamond District in New York. And people come and buy, the buyers for the stores come and buy. Either they sometimes go to direct to Antwerp, or they'll buy through the diamond dealers in New York City. It's usually the Hasidic Jews that seem to control it in the U.S. They'll go to these people, buy the diamonds, and then it goes into their store, and they're going to say it's VS1, VS, whatever the quality of the diamond is. Okay.
Sure.
They're the same diamonds that come out of there from South Africa, from De Beers, goes to Antwerp, and then that's the chain of distribution. Here's where it differentiates branding when it comes to those diamonds.
Mm,
Diamonds are sold today through Target, Costco, Walmart, all have jewelry stores. They all
I
sell
do.
diamonds. They come from the same source, South Africa, Antwerp, New York, and then it goes and the buyers go and buy, and then they vend it inside their stores.
Mm,
All of them. Okay. And then there's another diamond called Tiffany that comes in a blue and white box. I presume you have a wife.
oh,
Okay.
yes.
If you want to earn favor with your wife, you will either buy a diamond and hand it to her in a blue and white box from Tiffany, which has a certain brand value,
Mm-hmm.
or a box from Costco. Here, honey, here's our 10th anniversary upgrade to your diamond. You've been a good mother, a great wife, and I want to celebrate you. And if you hand her a gift box from Target versus a gift box from Tiffany, what's going to be her reaction between the two?
Very different.
Very different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how down to earth she is or isn't. The reaction is going to be predictable. Okay. Whether
Yeah.
she's your wife or Sam's down the road. Okay.
Right.
The reaction is going to be, and guess what the quality difference is between the diamond that is sold at Costco versus Tiffany? Possibly nothing.
Nothing at all. Yeah.
The outside screams quality. Now, do they vet and review their diamonds before they throw the Tiffany brand on it? You betcha. But I had a close friend that I grew up with who was a gemologist from Gemological Institute of America. He explained this whole process to me in depth. He said he was the one that would broker. He would sell to Zales. He would sell here and there, mom and pops. He would sell diamonds to it's all the same.
Yeah. It's all the same.
They have a rating. They have a somewhat objective rating system, but when you get to it's the packaging. It's the packaging. Is there a difference in value between a Lexus and a Mercedes? The
Of course there
same
is.
value car, let's
Yeah.
say it's worth $40,000 without the brand. You
Mm-hmm.
slap Lexus on it, you're going to get 45,000.
Yeah.
Mercedes, they're going to charge 60. It's all the brand dollars they've put into developing the Mercedes name. People have named their children after the name Mercedes,
True
calling
that.
their kids Benz. Does anybody call anybody Hyundai?
No,
How about Toyota?
not at all.
No. Hi, Nissan. It just doesn't happen. Oh, you're
No.
so cute. I'm going to name you Kia. Oh,
Right.
great. The cheapest Korean car in the market. Great value for money, but it doesn't translate. You're not going to name your kid that you've
No.
worked to have. Hey, Kia Ahmed. No way.
No way.
No way. You may consider Mercedes or Rolls Royce or
Yeah.
Bentley. I've heard people call Bentley. It's
Mm-hmm.
all in the branding.
It's
Same
all in
holds
branding.
true for television. If you are wrapped in paper of Fox broadcast, setting aside any political beliefs or non-beliefs,
Yeah.
just the wrapping, let's call it CNN. You have all these television stations around you where you've been interviewed as the go-to guy for creating great studios for people.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been interviewed. If you showed those logos of ABC, NBC, CW, and Fox, setting aside politics, because we're in a hot political race here, setting all that aside, the credentializing that would take place with you would allow you to charge premium prices versus the guy that does exactly the same thing you do, who doesn't have any.
Wow.
He'd have to charge less than you simply because you're wrapped better. And if you've written a book on your topic, even if it's an ebook, but you put it in a paperback form,
Mm-hmm.
you've done three things that he hasn't. You have a podcast. You've been on television. You've got a book. You deserve and will be perceived as valuable, whether or not your service is any more valuable than Joe Blow down the block. You know,
I love
it's
that.
just reality.
No, so what you've done is you've explained exactly what brand value is, right? Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. Pepsi took a long time to compete with Coca-Cola, right? Because Coca-Cola already had that brand built up. Apple is a $1 trillion brand. They put the time and effort into it. So what you're saying is that these media companies have gone through so much process, so much branding, so much buildup that just them featuring you
get to
basically
piggyback.
Transient transfer of credibility.
100%.
Right?
100%.
As you're explaining the diamond process, my cousin, right? He's talking about how he's been doing jewelry, like he's been doing jewelry by hand, and he's like, this bracelet right here is worth $15,000 because he's got that. You can get it appraised. Look at the quality of this, but again, he doesn't have the brand
that Tiffany does.
Or that other brands do.
Yeah, or if you are even in the jewelry arena, it's if you're a jeweler, let's say you're a designer like your cousin. Yeah. He's been on Fox TV. He's been that would raise his brand value of artistry. Artistry associated. Oh, this is Ahmed's cousin. I mean, I don't know his name. Sure. But he designed this and he's okay. It's piggybacking. It's brand association. You are associating. Let's think of a step further. It's celebrity endorsement. Think of celebrity endorsement. If you have Michael Jordan who comes to your basketball camp, you're selling a basketball camp for kids. Michael Jordan is the guest that's going to come on day 3 of your basketball camp versus you're going to get some unknown NBA player or some college player who's never been in any commercial, no endorsements, no sponsorships. You as a father are going to pay double for that basketball camp for your son to go to the one where Michael Jordan's going because of the brand association and the presumption of value. Now, is there any difference between these two basketball camps? No. They teach
Mm,
dribbling, shooting, free throw, defense, all of the skills that are basic that every kid needs to learn in order to be eligible to try out for the high school basketball team.
yeah.
But given that Michael Jordan was there, he comes, wow, that's big. When I went to basketball camp as a 12-year-old, it was with this man named Bob Boyd, who was the coach of the USC basketball team,
Mm,
University of Southern California. I lived in LA.
yeah.
And my mom paid for this because Jerry West, who was a well-known basketball player, Jerry West is the icon for the NBA. If you see the logo, that's Jerry West. He
Mm,
was a big name in the 70s as a basketball player. So when it was announced that he was coming, there was no second chance of me going there. There's no way I would have ever stopped crying, begging, kicking, whatever,
yeah.
to encourage my mom to let me go to Bob Boyd's basketball camp because Jerry West was coming.
Yeah.
Everybody loved Jerry West back then. Somebody else's basketball camp didn't have a chance because of the value of brand association. And, people ask me, well, what's the definition of personal brand? It's what they say about you when you're not in the room.
Mm,
What do they say
mm,
when you walk out of the room?
yeah.
Then you'll know your value. It might hurt, but you'll know the truth.
Yeah.
What do they say about you? That's why reviews are so powerful. What
Amen.
do people say about you when it's blind? When you don't know, if you have your ear to the wall and you eavesdrop on somebody, I really like Junaid, but maybe he could have asked me another question or two, or he didn't
Mm-hmm.
dig enough. Or, I really enjoyed his podcast. He was engaging, has a great studio. He was very interactive, and he was able to take my content and redefine it and synopsize it and give
Yeah.
it back to me. And that's my true sentiment, is like, you're able to take what I'm saying and rephrase it in an intelligent, digestible way.
Yeah. I love it, Mitch. Dude, this has been so much fun. I absolutely love it. I'll definitely will have to bring you back on the podcast because there's so many different aspects of that we haven't been able to touch in this episode. For example, you know, questions around secret sauce of organizing and delivering impactful event, or talking about what are the key elements of an effective sales message that resonates with TV and live audiences. Because you've been a pitch person with
Yes.
Home Shopping Network. There's so many aspects that we want to dig in, and we're actually going to do that in another episode. But before we go, I want to ask 3 hacks that my audience can take away from you around this space. For example, what are the 3 hacks that can help our listeners boost their visibility in revenue in 2024?
Okay. Hack number 1, do exactly what I was talking about. I don't talk about anything I don't practice I practice what I preach. Use what is called, if you want to get on television, I'll give them these 3 hacks because this will be of value to all of your listeners. And it starts with, when do you publicize? Always. When do you end? Never. When you push up daisies is when you stop, because you can't anymore. You're dead. But while you're existing in business and your business has a life, you constantly publicize. Why? Because then you never have to look in your rear view mirror because you're ahead of the competition. They will stop and you don't. You won't, because it'll pay itself off. You keep that snowball rolling down the hill. So the first hack I would say is establish a media calendar. And a media calendar will tell you because TV stations follow this. How do they select guests? Those that are dialed in. PR agencies know this. During the month of April, I put 3 African American ladies on television here in Las Vegas. They were all here during the same week, and I did them all at the same time. How did I do that? And they all were friends. Found out they became friends. Came from different backgrounds, but I put them all on TV during the same week. How did I do that? It was Black Women's History Month. Black Women's History Month, they were all Black women from America. And it was easier to get them on TV because of that, because of their skin color and celebrating their ethnicity. American women, okay? So follow a media calendar. Second thing is look at a trend. Not a right now I'm going to give you the difference between a trend and a fad or a shorter period of a trend. Right now we're in a fad period called the political race. That won't come around and visit us again for another 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a trending topic by definition, but after the election by December, all related to who's going to win and why and commentary will be finished. For a period of time, people can discuss what happened and why with the election or elections. You can piggyback on, but right now, the whole focus is on Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
The focus is on the two of them until November. Right now, if you've got an opinion that is unique and different about what's happening, you might be eligible for media coverage. And if you've written a book about it, you might be eligible for media coverage. It is much easier for me to place people who are published authors than those that haven't written a book. Hint, hint, hint.
Hint, hint.
3 hints in a row. Write a book. Okay. Easy solution. That opens doors that you never thought possible. The other is using the trending topic of AI. Right now, it's hot and will be for a while. Has been for up until, well, for 22 months. It has changed the world. When ChatGPT came out in November of 2022, the world changed dramatically.
Absolutely did. Yep.
And it's been in a meteoric rise since, with all of the Chrome extensions, solutions, people redefining it. I've got the ultimate prompt pack. I've got this, I've got that. May or may not be true. People have jumped on this train, and the train is not slowing down.
Mm-mm.
It's continuing. It'll probably continue for the next number of years. I believe it's redefining what we know to be true. It was like the internet when it came around 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Or more than that. I don't know when the internet really took off, but
it's almost when Google plus, yeah.
Okay, a long time now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So late or 80s, I think.
Yeah, 70s is when it was available to universities and whatnot, but to the main world, I think 80s is when it started.
There was that tipping point to when it went boom.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the .com boom and all of that. Same is true for AI. If you are a leadership expert who writes a book with an AI overlay, you are media worthy. So just to repeat for the listeners and viewers, a couple takeaways. Look at trends, piggyback on a trend. Okay. That's easy. Find something that's trending. You can also write a book, which is great. And the first one I said, embrace a media calendar. You put all three of those together, you are ready for media. And here's the reality people don't understand. They get pitched all the time by publicists saying, here, feature my person. Put June Knight on because he's a great guy. Oh, he's a published author. He embraces AI, how to enhance the studio, using that as the latest, greatest way to make everybody look great in a virtual environment. Oh, and it's technology month. Total sense to get you on television during that time. Easier. Now, there are no guarantees, but it's a lot easier to walk in with a full armor of, with a complete package than just begging like, give me a worm. No, you've gone from being unknown to interesting, and therefore the press will be interested.
Yeah.
You've got to be packaged correctly. And if you're packaged correctly with a book, trending topic, and you are using a media calendar where the timing is there, that's the trifecta.
I love
that they're looking for. Yeah.
That is powerful, man. this conversation has been packed with so much value. Thank you so much, man. I am super, super excited for this. In our last segment, it's really quick on 6 fun questions. So you ready for this, Mitch?
Okay,
All right.
I'm ready. Fire
Number
away.
one, fire away. Number one, what is the one hobby that you wish you got into?
I wish I had gotten into golf earlier in life. A lot of deals are done on the golf course.
I hear that a lot. Maybe I
Yeah.
need to do more golf course.
Well, but it takes a lot of time too. I have
Of
golf.
course it does. Yeah.
I got into golf later, and I was very mediocre. I was average.
hmm
I wasn't good. I wasn't terrible for a while, but it takes a lot of time. But I think had I embraced it earlier, it might have been something I would have considered.
Love it. Next up, what did you want to be when you were a child?
Oh gosh, I think I flip flop on a daily basis
hmm
or weekly basis. When the fireman came into school and we got to see his ladder go up on the truck, wouldn't it be cool to be like Fireman Bill?
Yeah.
And then when the police officer came in, you saw his cool gun and his belt and the billy club and all that stuff. Oh, wouldn't it be cool to look like him? And he had big muscles, and that would be cool. So I mean, it changed with age. Then I even considered, wouldn't it be fun to be an actor? I
Mm,
tried one acting lesson, and that didn't appeal to me. So I said, nope, nope, not going to do
not
that.
gonna do it.
Didn't like it. It changed, but what I do today, I never envisioned as a kid.
I love it.
Never envisioned as a kid. I
It's the
did think
evolution
about
of it.
becoming a chiropractor at one time.
Mm,
It was a lot of
yeah.
science classes, and I didn't enjoy it that much. I tried biology and I did okay, and chemistry, yeah, just wasn't, I'm not wired that way. And then I believe I fell into the career I got into because I was good at it, and it came much more naturally without restriction. If I were in one of the engineering or science
Mm.
careers, I'd probably be miserable.
Man, so you're always curious, checking the different things. Oh, this doesn't. So that's
Doesn't
probably
fit.
why you got really good at this stuff. I love it.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, take it off. Put another
Take it
shirt
off.
on.
Nice.
Yeah, you got to wear something else. Yeah, so I think that's it. Go ahead. What's the next one?
Next,
I like
yeah,
these.
next one. What is your favorite movie or TV show?
Ooh, I would have to say Shawshank Redemption.
Oh my God, such a powerful
Love
movie.
that. I loved that movie. I've seen it
Yeah,
many times, and I would say that was probably one of my favorites of all time.
I love it. Now, next question is: if you could play a character in any movie, what would you choose?
Oh, if I could have played a character, different times it might be different answers, but the first one that comes to mind is the younger Mitch, and I would have loved to have been, well, it could have been even this age, James Bond.
Nice. I like it.
Yes. Especially when I was younger. Today, it's more looking back and reflective. Oh, yeah, that would
hmm
have been fun.
Yeah.
But when I was, let's say, 30, if I could have been James Bond 007 and
Nice.
being a cool secret agent and all the hot chicks wanting me saying, James, 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 all the funny names of the women, I thought it was, that would have been my fantasy movie.
No, that's a perfect movie. All right, next up, who is your favorite superhero?
I grew up with Superman.
That's right,
Yeah,
Superman.
I grew up with Superman.
It's just amazing.
I'd still have to say Superman because
Yeah,
he was the superhero. He was strong, he was humble,
yeah,
he was more powerful than everybody and kept it within a constraint. He only
yeah,
used it when necessary,
yeah,
and he was in disguise. So I admired the humility and the strength. And then he also had an Achilles heel, which was kryptonite.
yeah. He did.
So there was a weakness to him. So he wasn't perfect. He was
Yeah,
fallible.
yeah. I love it, man. Thank you. I recently just watched Man of Steel again, and I was like, a
Ah,
reminder, right? So, and then Kevin Costner playing the dad role as Clark, not Clark Kent.
Not Lex Luthor, but I know
Lex
you're talking
Luthor
about
came.
that was later. But
Yeah,
Superman's dad in the original was somebody else. That was God, what was his name? It's a long time ago, but it was
yeah.
Christopher Reeve
Christopher Reeves
originally.
was the original Superman. Yes, I remember. Yeah, but they've done
Marlon
versions of these
Brando.
anymore. Marlon Brando. Oh wow.
That was his
Wow.
father in the
Nice.
originals. Yeah, we're going back. Well, God, that was
Way
the 70s or 80s. Yeah,
Yeah.
long
All right.
time ago.
Last question, Mitch. This has been a lot of fun for me as well.
Sure.
This question is: if you were a board game, what would it be?
If I were a board game,
Yes.
if I were a board game, it would be Monopoly.
Oh, powerful, powerful game, dude. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Mitch, again for coming on, sharing your thoughts, sharing your wisdom for the audience. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience about achieving success and boosting revenue in 2024?
I think I've covered it best I can, and I would urge you to take action. It's an overused term.
Best one.
Seek publicity and don't stop.
I love it. Mitch, thank you so much. Where can our audiences connect with you? I'll be sure to include the links in the show notes.
Getinterviewedguaranteed.com/meet with Mitch. If you want to embrace television in the Las Vegas market, we can set up a call, go through and fill that out, and we'll have a chat. Getinterviewguaranteed.com/meet with Mitch. That's where you
Perfect,
can find
Mitch.
me.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Thank you so much for joining us, Mitch. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. If you found value in this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, leave a review. Until next time, keep hacking your hobbies and turning them into profitable passions. And we're out.